In 622 CE, facing severe persecution and hostility in Mecca, Prophet Muhammad and his followers embarked on the Hijra to Yathrib, which would later be renamed Medina. This journey was not just a physical migration, but a significant spiritual and social turning point for the early Muslim community. This migration marked the founding of the first Muslim community, or Ummah. In Medina, the Muslims found a sanctuary where they could practice their faith freely and build a cohesive society based on Islamic principles.
In Medina, I was not merely a religious leader, but also a political and social arbitrator. I established a constitution that outlined the rights and duties of all citizens, including Muslims, Jews, and other tribes, fostering a sense of unity and justice.
The Quraysh of Mecca saw the growing Muslim community as a significant threat to their economic and social power. They were deeply concerned about the influence and expansion of Islam. This tension eventually escalated into a state of war, with several key battles fought between the Muslims and the Quraysh. These battles, such as the Battle of Badr and the Battle of Uhud, were fought defensively to protect the Muslim community from annihilation and to secure their right to practice their faith. The Quraysh derived their power and influence from the polytheistic system centered around the Kaaba, which attracted pilgrims and traders from all over the Arabian Peninsula. They saw Muhammad's monotheistic message as a direct threat to their religious and economic status quo, leading to increased hostility and persecution of the Muslims. The relentless persecution in Mecca made the Hijra a necessary act of self-preservation and a strategic move to ensure the survival and growth of the Muslim community. This period of migration and the subsequent establishment of the Muslim community in Medina were pivotal in shaping the destiny of Islam and the cultural landscape of the Arabian Peninsula. It laid the foundation for the future expansion and influence of Islam across the region and beyond. To understand the military campaigns led by Prophet Muhammad, it's crucial to differentiate between Ghazwa and Sariya. Ghazwa referred to campaigns where Prophet Muhammad was personally present. Sariya referred to smaller expeditions led by his companions. These missions were crucial for the strategic defense of the Muslim community. Early Muslims were not permitted to initiate aggression. War was permissible only in self-defense. Even in warfare, there were strict ethical guidelines. Prophet Muhammad forbade the killing of non-combatants and cruelty to prisoners of war. His strategic decisions emphasized peace and reconciliation whenever possible. Smaller reconnaissance missions, known as the Sariyas, were instrumental in ensuring the safety and security of the early Muslim community. These missions were not just about gathering intelligence, they were about safeguarding the very essence of the Ummah.
Led by trusted companions of the Prophet Muhammad, these missions required immense courage, resilience, and a profound understanding of the harsh desert terrain. The riders had to navigate through treacherous paths, often facing extreme weather conditions and the constant threat of enemy encounters.
These men were not only skilled warriors, but also adept negotiators. Their ability to engage in diplomacy and conflict resolution was crucial in maintaining the stability of the region. One notable Sariya, led by Hamza, successfully intercepted a Quraysh caravan. This bold move signaled the growing confidence and strategic prowess of the Muslims, showcasing their ability to challenge their adversaries. Another significant mission, led by Zayd ibn Haritha, provided invaluable intelligence about the movements and plans of the Quraysh. This information was crucial for the Muslims to anticipate and counteract enemy strategies. These engagements were not just about immediate victories, they provided essential combat experience, boosted the morale of the Muslim fighters, and significantly disrupted the trade routes of the Quraysh, weakening their economic strength. Through these missions, Prophet Muhammad was able to assess the strength and strategies of his adversaries. This allowed him to make informed decisions and plan future actions with greater precision. The Sariyas exemplify the strategic thinking and foresight of the early Muslim community. They were not just reactive measures, but proactive steps to ensure long-term security and stability. Each mission, no matter how small, contributed significantly to securing the safety and prosperity of the Islamic State. They were the eyes and ears of the Ummah, always vigilant and ready to protect their community. The Battle of Badr in 624 CE was the first major confrontation between the Muslims and the Quraysh.
We decided to intercept the Quraysh caravan to disrupt their economic lifeline.
The Quraysh assembled a large force leading to a decisive battle. Despite being outnumbered, the Muslims fought valiantly. A sudden downpour of rain, seen as divine intervention, boosted the Muslims' spirits. The Muslims emerged victorious, inflicting heavy losses on the Quraysh. The victory at Badr solidified the Muslims' position in Medina and boosted their morale. The Battle of Uhud in 625 CE was a test of faith for the Muslim community.
We took a defensive position on the slopes of Mount Uhud.
The initial phase favored the Muslims, but a critical error turned the tide. Disobeying orders, a group of archers abandoned their post, exposing the Muslim flank. The Quraysh launched a counterattack, causing chaos. Prophet Muhammad was injured and rumors of his death spread. Despite the setback, the Muslims regrouped and held off the Quraysh. Uhud was a painful lesson in discipline, obedience, and unity. The Battle of the Trench in 627 CE showcased the Muslims' strategic acumen.
Inspired by Salman the Persian, we dug a trench around Medina.
The trench halted the Quraysh cavalry, forcing a stalemate. For nearly a month, the two armies faced each other across the trench. The Muslims repelled every attack, and harsh winter conditions took a toll on the besieging army. Internal disputes weakened the Confederate tribes.
I negotiated a separate peace treaty with the Ghatafan, isolating the Meccans. The Quraysh abandoned the siege, and the Battle of the Trench showcased Prophet Muhammad's leadership as a military strategist and diplomat.
The Battle of Khyber in 628 CE was a significant challenge for the Muslims.
We aimed to neutralize the threat posed by the Jewish tribes of Khyber.
Khyber was a formidable stronghold with several well-fortified forts. The Muslims laid siege to the forts, employing military strategy and diplomacy. The battle for Khyber was fierce, but the Muslims fought valiantly. The fort eventually fell, and the remaining Jewish tribes surrendered. The victory at Khyber secured the northern borders and provided access to fertile lands. It established the Muslims' dominance in the region. The Battle of Hunain in 630 CE highlighted the importance of unity and humility.
The Hawazin posed a significant threat to the Muslim community.
Overconfidence led to confusion in the initial stages of the battle. The Hawazin launched a surprise attack, causing disarray. Many fled, leaving Prophet Muhammad surrounded by a small group of loyal companions.
Stand your ground and fight for your faith.
The Muslims regrouped and launched a counterattack, pushing back the Hawazin. The victory at Hunain was a lesson in humility and the importance of unity. The relationship between Prophet Muhammad and the Quraysh evolved from hostility to reconciliation. Initially, the Quraysh opposed Prophet Muhammad's message, leading to persecution and migration to Medina.
The battles between the Muslims and the Quraysh were marked by intense conflict.
Despite the hostility, Prophet Muhammad harbored no ill will towards his former adversaries. Following the conquest of Mecca, he declared a general amnesty and destroyed the idols inside the Kaaba. This act of forgiveness led many Quraysh to embrace Islam. The battles fought by the early Muslims under Prophet Muhammad were pivotal in shaping the course of Islamic history. These confrontations were not just mere skirmishes, they were defining moments that determined the survival and future of the nascent Muslim community. These battles laid the foundation for the rapid spread of Islam in the 7th century. The victories achieved during this period were instrumental in establishing a strong and unified Islamic state, which facilitated the swift and extensive expansion of the Islamic Caliphate across vast territories. The victories secured the safety and stability of the Muslim community in Medina. This newfound security allowed the community to flourish, focusing on spiritual growth, social cohesion, and the establishment of a just society based on Islamic principles. They earned the Muslims' respect from neighboring tribes, many of whom embraced Islam. The diplomatic and strategic acumen displayed by Prophet Muhammad and his followers fostered alliances and brought many tribes into the fold of Islam, further strengthening the community. The military campaigns united the disparate Arab tribes under the banner of Islam. This unification was unprecedented and transformed the Arabian Peninsula from a region of fragmented tribes into a cohesive and powerful entity. Prophet Muhammad's leadership emphasized discipline, consultation, and ethical principles in warfare. His approach to leadership and conflict resolution set a standard for future generations, highlighting the importance of justice, mercy, and strategic thinking. The legacy of these battles offers valuable lessons in courage, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. They serve as enduring reminders of the sacrifices made and the principles upheld by the early Muslims in their quest to establish a society based on faith and equality. They continue to inspire Muslims today to strive for a more equitable and compassionate world. The spirit of those early battles lives on, motivating contemporary Muslims to engage in community service, charitable activities, and efforts to promote social justice and harmony in their societies.
In the heart of Arabia, a new faith was born. Muhammad, a respected trader in Mecca, received revelations from God. These revelations, compiled in the Quran, called for a radical change in society. They preached the oneness of God and the importance of justice, compassion, and equality. However, this message was not well received by everyone in Mecca. The Quraysh, the dominant tribe of Mecca, felt threatened by Muhammad's teachings. Their power and wealth were based on the polytheistic beliefs and practices that Muhammad challenged. As more people converted to Islam, the Quraysh intensified their persecution of the Muslims. Despite the persecution, Muhammad remained committed to peace. In 622 CE, facing escalating threats, Muhammad and his followers migrated to Yathrib, a city some 260 miles north of Mecca. The arrival of the Muslims in Medina was a turning point. The city was divided by tribal conflicts, and the people were weary of strife. They saw in Muhammad a leader who could bring peace and unity. Muhammad established a covenant known as the Constitution of Medina. This document outlined the rights and responsibilities of all citizens, Muslims and non-Muslims alike. It emphasized justice, cooperation, and mutual defense. In Medina, the Muslim community flourished. They established the first mosque, a place of worship and community gathering. However, the peace that the Muslims sought was not to last. The Quraysh in Mecca, enraged by the Muslims' escape and their growing influence, refused to let them live in peace. Raids and skirmishes between the two sides became increasingly frequent. Tensions escalated, setting the stage for a confrontation that would change the course of history. The Quraysh, determined to crush the Muslims, launched a series of raids on Medina and its surrounding areas. These raids targeted the Muslims' livestock and trade routes, aiming to weaken them economically and provoke them into a full-blown war. Muhammad, guided by the principle of self-defense, allowed his followers to retaliate against these attacks. Small-scale skirmishes broke out with losses on both sides. The Muslims, though outnumbered and outmatched in terms of weaponry, displayed remarkable courage and resilience. The escalating conflict created an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty. The Muslims knew that a decisive confrontation was inevitable. In 624 CE, a large caravan belonging to the Quraysh was returning from Syria to Mecca. This caravan, carrying valuable trade goods, was a vital source of wealth for the Quraysh. Muhammad received intelligence that the caravan, led by Abu Sufyan, was passing close to Medina. Seizing this opportunity to strike a blow against the Quraysh's economic might, Muhammad decided to intercept the caravan. He gathered a force of around 313 men, mostly lightly armed and inexperienced in warfare. They set out from Medina, determined to capture the caravan.
We must act swiftly. Send word to Mecca for reinforcements.
News of the Muslims' movement reached Abu Sufyan, who immediately sent a message to Mecca, pleading for reinforcements. The Quraysh responded with a massive army of nearly 1,000 well-equipped soldiers. The stage was set for a confrontation that would have far-reaching consequences. At Section 5, the armies assemble. Strength and strategy on the battlefield. As the Muslim force approached Badr, they discovered the overwhelming size of the Quraysh army. Some were daunted by the odds, but Muhammad remained calm and resolute. He consulted his companions and devised a strategic plan for the battle.
We will take up a defensive position on the hillside near the well. This will limit their ability to flank us. Remember, discipline and unity are our strengths.
The Muslims, recognizing their numerical disadvantage, chose their position carefully. They took up a defensive position on a hillside near a well, limiting the Quraysh's ability to flank them. Muhammad, emphasizing discipline and unity, urged his followers to fight courageously and trust in God's help. The Quraysh, confident in their superior numbers and equipment, were eager for battle. They lined up in their traditional formation, with the strongest warriors at the front. Individual duels, a common practice in Arabian warfare, marked the initial stages of the battle. The fate of both sides hung in the balance, and the desert sands were about to be stained with the blood of warriors. Section 6. The Clash at Badr, a day of courage and divine favor. The battle began with a series of individual duels.
For the honor of our faith and our people, we fight.
Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib, Muhammad's uncle, and Ali ibn Abi Talib, his cousin, fought with great courage and skill, slaying several Quraysh champions.
Stand firm, brothers. Victory is within our grasp.
These early victories boosted the morale of the Muslim army. As the battle intensified, the Muslims, inspired by their faith in their leaders, fought with unwavering determination. They faced wave after wave of Quraysh attacks, repelling them with fierce resistance.
Fight bravely, my followers. Victory or martyrdom awaits us.
Despite their courage, the Muslims were outnumbered and outmatched. At this critical juncture, according to Muslim tradition, divine intervention turned the tide of the battle. A fierce sandstorm blew into the faces of the Quraysh, disrupting their ranks and creating confusion. The Muslims, energized by this sign of divine favor, pressed their attack with renewed vigor. Section 7. Victory and its aftermath. The price of freedom. As the sun began to set, the outcome of the battle was clear. The Quraysh army, routed and demoralized, fled back towards Mecca. The Muslims were victorious, having achieved a remarkable triumph against overwhelming odds. The battlefield was littered with the bodies of the slain, a testament to the ferocity of the fighting. Despite their joy, the Muslims mourned the loss of their fallen comrades. 14 Muslims had been martyred, a heavy price for victory.
Their sacrifice will not be forgotten. We will honor their memory and pray for their souls.
Muhammad, deeply saddened by their sacrifice, personally supervised their burial. He prayed for their souls and honored their memory. The Muslims took 70 prisoners of war, treating them with kindness and compassion. Some prisoners were released after paying ransom, while others were set free in exchange for teaching literacy to the people of Medina. The victory at Badr was a defining moment for the early Muslim community. Section 8. A turning point. The impact on the Muslim community. The Battle of Badr was more than just a military victory. It was a turning point in Islamic history. It had profound psychological, political, and religious implications for the fledgling Muslim community. The victory at Badr instilled a deep sense of confidence and unity among the Muslims. They had faced a powerful enemy and emerged victorious, proving their strength and resilience. The battle also validated Muhammad's leadership and the truth of his message. Many people, inspired by the Muslims' courage and their evident divine favor, embraced Islam. Politically, the victory at Badr significantly strengthened the Muslims' position in Medina. It enhanced Muhammad's authority as the leader of the community and established the Muslims as a force to be reckoned with. Section 9. The Spoils of War. Economic and political implications. The victory at Badr brought with it significant economic and political benefits for the Muslim community. The spoils of war, including weapons, armor, and merchandise from the captured caravan, were distributed among the Muslim fighters. This influx of wealth helped alleviate the economic hardship faced by the early Muslims and contributed to the growth of Medina. The distribution of the spoils of war also had political implications. It helped to solidify alliances between different clans within Medina and attract new followers to the Muslim cause. The economic gains from the battle allowed the Muslims to strengthen their defenses and prepare for future conflicts. Section 10. Badr in History. A Legacy of Faith and Resistance. The Battle of Badr holds a revered place in Islamic history. It is remembered as a day of divine favor, courage, and sacrifice. The battle is commemorated annually by Muslims around the world, serving as a reminder of the early struggles and triumphs of the Muslim community. Badr has also become a symbol of resistance against oppression and injustice. The battle's message of courage in the face of overwhelming odds, reliance on God, and the pursuit of justice continues to resonate with people across cultures and faiths. The lessons of Badr extend beyond the battlefield. Section 11. Conclusion: the enduring significance of the Battle of Badr. The Battle of Badr was a watershed moment in Islamic history. It was more than just a military victory. It was a turning point that shaped the destiny of the Muslim community and the course of Islam. The story of Badr teaches us that even the smallest of communities, driven by faith and united by a common purpose, can overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. The Battle of Badr, though fought centuries ago, continues to hold profound lessons for humanity today. The year is 625 CE. The Arabian Peninsula, a land of vast deserts and rugged mountains, is about to witness a momentous event. The arid plains of Arabia bear witness to a clash of civilizations. The scorching sun beats down on the golden sands as two mighty forces prepare to collide. This is the Battle of Uhud, a pivotal moment in Islamic history. The echoes of this battle resonate through the ages, a testament to the courage and resilience of those who fought. This battle, etched in the annals of time, took place a year after the miraculous Muslim victory at Badr. The triumph at Badr had given the Muslims newfound hope and strength. The Muslims faced the powerful Quraysh of Mecca. The stakes were high. The Quraysh, seeking revenge for their defeat at Badr, were determined to crush the Muslim community. The fate of the nascent Muslim community hung in the balance. Leaders and warriors gathered, their faces etched with concern and determination, knowing that the outcome of this battle could change everything. The Battle of Uhud was more than just a military engagement. It was a defining moment that tested the resolve and faith of the early Muslims. It was a test of faith. Warriors prayed fervently, seeking strength and guidance from the Almighty, their hearts filled with both fear and hope. It was a trial of leadership. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stood as a beacon of wisdom and courage, guiding his followers through the storm of battle. It was a lesson in obedience and discipline. The Muslim warriors, despite their fears, followed their leaders' commands with unwavering loyalty and precision. The outcome of the battle would shape the destiny of Islam and its followers for generations to come. The sacrifices made, the lessons learned, and the faith tested at Uhud would leave an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of Muslims, forever reminding them of the trials and triumphs of their early history. The Quraysh, the dominant tribe of Mecca, were smarting from their defeat at the Battle of Badr. This defeat was more than a loss of face. It was a blow to their economic and political dominance. They thirsted for vengeance. They yearned to crush the growing Muslim community in Medina. Led by the cunning Abu Sufyan, the Quraysh assembled a formidable army. 3,000 warriors strong, they marched towards Medina. Their objective was clear: to obliterate the Muslims and extinguish the flame of Islam. They were determined to restore their honor and reassert their authority over Arabia.
My companions, the future of Islam is at stake. We must stand united and resolute.
Outnumbered but resolute, the Prophet Muhammad led a force of 1,000 men to meet the advancing Quraysh army. He understood the gravity of the situation. He knew that the future of Islam was at stake. The Prophet strategically positioned his troops. He placed 50 skilled archers on a hilltop. This strategic move would give the Muslims a tactical advantage. The archers were ordered to hold their position. They were crucial in defending the Muslim flank. Their discipline would prove vital to the outcome of the battle. The initial phase of the battle went in favor of the Muslims. They fought with valor and discipline. The archers, positioned strategically on the hilltop, rained arrows down upon the enemy. The Quraysh forces faltered. Victory seemed within reach. However, a fateful decision changed the course of the battle.
We should go down and collect the spoils of war. The battle is nearly won.
A group of archers disobeyed the Prophet's orders. They left their posts. They were tempted by the prospect of collecting spoils of war. This act of disobedience created a gap in the Muslim defenses. Section 5. The Aftermath, Loss, Reflection, and Divine Reassurance. The Battle of Uhud was a significant event in Islamic history, marked by both triumphs and tribulations. It was a day that tested the faith and resolve of the early Muslim community. The Quraysh cavalry, led by the fierce Khalid ibn al-Walid, exploited the gap left by the archers. This strategic move was a turning point in the battle, showcasing the importance of discipline and adherence to commands. They attacked the Muslims from the rear, catching them off guard and causing chaos within the ranks. The sudden ambush led to confusion and disarray among the Muslim soldiers. The tide of the battle turned dramatically. What seemed like a certain victory for the Muslims quickly transformed into a desperate struggle for survival. The intensity of the battle was palpable, with every moment hanging in the balance. The Muslims suffered heavy losses. Many brave warriors fell that day, their sacrifices etched into the annals of history. The battlefield was a somber sight, littered with the fallen and the injured. The Prophet himself was injured. His injury was a stark reminder of the human cost of the battle and the vulnerability of even the most revered leaders. His followers gathered around him, their concern evident in their eyes.
We saw an opportunity, and we took it. In the heat of battle, decisions had to be made swiftly. The chance to turn the tide was fleeting, and we seized it with all our might. The Muslims were vulnerable, and we struck with all our might. The ferocity of our attack was unmatched, driven by the desire to capitalize on the momentary lapse in the enemy's defenses.
The Quraysh, exhausted and demoralized despite their victory, chose not to pursue the Muslims further. They retreated to Mecca, their spirits dampened by the heavy toll the battle had taken on both sides. The Battle of Uhud ended in a tactical defeat for the Muslims. However, it was not merely a loss, it was a profound lesson in faith, obedience, and resilience. The aftermath of the battle was a time for deep reflection and introspection. However, it became a profound lesson in faith, obedience, and resilience. The community gathered to discuss the events, to understand what went wrong, and to draw lessons for the future. It was a moment of collective learning and growth.
We mourned our losses deeply, but we also reflected on our mistakes and the lessons we learned. The sorrow was palpable, but it was accompanied by a resolve to emerge stronger and more united. It was a time of sorrow, yet also of immense spiritual growth. The community turned to prayer and reflection, seeking divine reassurance and strength. The lessons of Uhud would resonate for generations, shaping the future of the Muslim community.
Section 6. Lessons in Leadership, Prophet Muhammad's Example. The Battle of Uhud highlights the exemplary leadership of Prophet Muhammad. This battle, fought in 625 CE, was a pivotal moment in Islamic history. Despite facing overwhelming odds, he remained calm and composed. His demeanor in the face of adversity was a source of strength for his followers.
My companions, do not lose heart. Even when the situation seems dire, remember that our faith and unity are our greatest strengths. Stay steadfast in your faith, for Allah is with us. Our belief in a higher purpose will guide us through these trials.
He rallied his companions with inspiring words and unwavering faith. His speeches were not just about strategy, but about instilling hope and resilience. Even in the face of adversity, the Prophet never lost sight of his mission. His vision was clear and his determination unwavering. He led by example, demonstrating courage, compassion, and strategic thinking. His actions on the battlefield were a testament to his leadership qualities.
Remember, true strength lies not in victory alone, but in our resilience and faith in the face of trials. It is our ability to stand firm and united that defines us.
His actions serve as a timeless guide for leaders in all walks of life. The lessons from his leadership during the Battle of Uhud continue to inspire and guide us today. His ability to balance strategy with compassion and his unwavering faith are qualities that every leader should strive to emulate. Section 7. The Importance of Discipline, a Timeless Lesson. The archers' disobedience at Uhud serves as a stark reminder of the importance of discipline, especially in the face of adversity. Their actions had dire consequences, turning the tide of the battle and leading to Muslim losses. This event underscores the critical role of obedience in any organized effort, be it on the battlefield or in everyday life. Discipline is not merely about following orders. It is about understanding the bigger picture and acting in the best interest of the collective good. Section 8. Resilience and Faith. The Muslim community endures. Despite the setback at Uhud, the Muslim community did not despair. They drew strength from their faith and their prophet's unwavering belief in God's plan. The Battle of Uhud tested their resilience, but it did not break their spirit.
The Muslims learned valuable lessons from their defeat. They emerged from the experience stronger in their faith and more determined to face future challenges. The Battle of Uhud served as a testament to the power of faith and the unwavering spirit of the early Muslim community.
Section 9. The Legacy of Uhud, a testament to courage and sacrifice. The Battle of Uhud stands as a testament to the courage and sacrifice of the early Muslims. They faced a formidable enemy with unwavering faith and a deep commitment to their cause. The memory of their sacrifices continues to inspire Muslims around the world. Uhud is not just a place in history, it is a symbol of resistance, perseverance, and faith. The battle serves as a powerful reminder that even in the face of defeat, there is always a lesson to be learned and a cause to strive for. Section 10. Conclusion. The enduring significance of Uhud. The Battle of Uhud holds a significant place in Islamic history. It offers invaluable lessons in leadership, discipline, faith, and resilience. The events of that fateful day continue to resonate with Muslims around the world. Uhud reminds us that true victory lies not just in military triumphs, but also in upholding our values, learning from our mistakes, and never losing faith, even in the face of adversity. The spirit of Uhud continues to inspire courage, resilience, and unwavering faith in the face of life's challenges.
The Arabian Peninsula, a land of scorching sun and ancient history, Within its vast expanse, countless stories of ambition and conflict lie buried beneath the sands of time. One such story is the Battle of Raji, a forgotten conflict that offers a glimpse into the complex web of intertribal relations in pre-Islamic Arabia. The Arabian Peninsula for centuries before Islam was a cauldron of tribal societies vying for control over precious resources. The harsh desert landscape shaped their lives, making survival a daily struggle. These tribes, bound by kinship, were fiercely independent, their existence linked to the unforgiving environment. They roamed the vast deserts, setting up camps wherever they could find water and shelter. Survival demanded unity and strength, but scarcity bred competition and conflict. The need to protect their resources often led to fierce battles. Disputes over water rights and trade routes often erupted into open warfare, fueled by ancient grudges. These conflicts were not just about resources, but also about honor and pride. Blood feuds lasting for decades were not uncommon. These feuds could span generations, with each side seeking revenge for past wrongs. The Battle of Raji emerged from this crucible of conflict, a clash between two powerful tribes with a long history of animosity. It was a defining moment, illustrating the intense rivalries that shaped the region's history. On one side stood Tribe A, renowned for their equestrian prowess and control of vital trade routes. Their mastery over the desert sands and their ability to navigate the harsh terrain made them formidable opponents. They were not just warriors, they were guardians of the trade routes that connected distant lands. Their leader, a seasoned warrior, commanded unwavering loyalty. His strategic mind and battle experience were unmatched, making him a revered figure among his people.
Our horses are swift as the desert wind, and our blades sharper than the sun's glare. We shall not yield. We ride with the spirit of our ancestors, and our resolve is as unyielding as the desert itself.
Facing them were Tribe B, masters of the desert, known for their tenacity and courage. Their survival skills and deep understanding of the desert environment gave them a unique advantage. Their leader, a charismatic chieftain, inspired his people to fight with the heart of lions. His words ignited a fire within them, a burning desire to protect their heritage and way of life.
Our strength lies in our unity. Together we are an unbreakable force, bound by our traditions and our love for this land. And our knowledge of this land, every dune, every oasis is a part of us, and we will defend it with our lives. We fight not just for survival, but for honor. Our ancestors watch over us, and we must prove ourselves worthy of their legacy. The land around Raji, a fertile oasis, became the focal point of their animosity. This oasis was more than just a source of water. It was a symbol of prosperity and power. Both tribes laid claim to this valuable territory, its possession signifying control over resources and prestige. The battle for Raji was not just a fight for land, but a struggle for dominance and survival in the harsh desert.
The years leading up to the Battle of Raji were marked by escalating skirmishes. Raids and counter-raids became increasingly common, pushing the two tribes closer to war. Negotiations for peace were undertaken, but the voices of moderation were drowned out by the clamor for war. A dispute over grazing rights became the spark that ignited the inferno. Both sides called upon their allies, their cries for support echoing across the desolate landscape. The sun beat down mercilessly on the arid plains of Raji as the two armies assembled, the heat waves distorting the horizon and making the air shimmer with intensity. Tribe A, bolstered by allied clans, boasted a formidable force, their cavalry poised to strike with precision and power. The warriors, clad in armor that glinted under the harsh sun, were ready for the impending clash.
Facing them, Tribe B, though outnumbered, stood their ground with unwavering resolve. Their eyes were set with determination, knowing that their survival depended on their unity and courage. Their warriors, hardened by years of desert warfare, were prepared to use their knowledge of the terrain to their advantage. Every rock and dune was a potential ally in their fight against the larger force.
The battle commenced with a thunderous roar as Tribe A's cavalry charged towards the enemy lines, the ground trembling under the weight of the galloping horses. Tribe B, their ranks holding firm, met the charge with disciplined ferocity. Shields locked and spears bristling, they absorbed the impact and pushed back with equal force.
The tide of battle ebbed and flowed, each side gaining and then losing ground. The clash of steel and the cries of warriors filled the air, a symphony of chaos and valor. Tribe B, their resilience bolstered by their leader's tactical acumen, exploited every advantage the terrain offered. They moved with precision, taking strategic positions that turned the desert into a battlefield of opportunity.
The turning point came with a daring flanking maneuver by Tribe B's leader, sowing confusion and panic among Tribe A's ranks. His commands were sharp and decisive, leading his warriors with unmatched skill. The element of surprise shattered Tribe A's cohesion, their lines crumbling under the relentless assault. The once formidable force found itself in disarray, their confidence eroded by the unexpected attack.